back.
Look at that. Right on time. What a smooth entry. Yeah. I got in here like 15 minutes ago. You got in here 3 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And look at this. It's Tuesday. We're looking fresh, kind of matching a little bit. Yeah. You like this? Uncle Oliver just sent me a nice little package of HORMESIS goods. There's a really dope t-shirt or shirt you got to see when we're out of here. I mean, it's all pretty fresh. She gave the boys some blankets. There's a little Sloan tank top in there. She's going to have to grow into it maybe like 4 years, 5 years. But we'll hold on to it. So, yeah, happy Tuesday, everybody. We got a fun show here. We got some fun anecdotes, great stories. Just got back from Mexico. I'm also feeling a little bit better. Like I said, don't kiss me. And I think you'll be all right. Not like I have to say that on a very often, right?
Too bad you didn't have kiss your coach now, because you could have just given whatever you had to Skinny Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody on the team
would have been a good time to give it to Skinny Kevin too.
Gets it, yeah. I'm not wearing makeup. No, thank you for asking that, Summer Dork. Some dork. It's this shirt. You buy HORMESIS and it just kind of like
makes it glow.
Makes everything glow a little bit. Yeah.
Glow up,
baby. And let's see here. Yeah, we just got back from Mexico. We had an awesome weekend at Arturo's field in Guadalajara. Have you been to his new field? Is that where they had the last tournament?
No, I don't think I've been there in like over a year.
Okay, I think this is
but
his new field.
I saw one of the videos. There was like these big like
2-story structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rad.
Like,
this feels nice.
Yeah, I guess I haven't.
Okay. Super nice. Like, excellent. He like rolled out the red carpet. Everybody down there was hospitable. Not like it wouldn't have been anyway, but we had this guy coming in there cooking fish. Now, I can't eat anything. This is actually, it was torture for me. It actually reminded me of the one time that I was doing, I got like this deal from that Prolon. It was like a 2-day or 3-day or 7-day fasting thing. Do you remember when I was fasting that one time? And I could only drink those little soup packets?
Yes.
Yeah, that was miserable.
Yeah.
It was miserable. It was a horrible idea. But, you know, it's not for everybody. Well, when I was doing that, very similar scenario, we went down to Mexico to get our dog's teeth fixed. And Camille and I go down there. And Camille's like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to eat all these tacos, and you're going to watch me. And I was just dying. All I got was like these like salted peanuts. That was my meal for like 4 hours. Anyway, very similar scenario where whatever virus I got 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, probably from you because you were sick that one time. I'm still blaming you a little bit. It turned into like the mouth version of hands, foot, and mouth disease that you get for kids, I think. Something along those lines. The doctors don't really know.
That's where that song comes from, I think.
Hands, foot, mouth, and
knees and
sores in your mouth and your tongue and your gums. So basically all around the inside rim of my gums, there's these just open sores. Like, you know when you bite on a chip sideways and you're like, ooh, that's hot, that hurts. And it's kind of like there and annoying. I got like 18 of those on the inside of my mouth. And then one really big one on the roof of my mouth.
I heard it's really contagious. You
didn't
want to tell me after the show?
Well,
like, hey, just by the way, I went to the doctor.
I didn't know until the doctor told me this. So the first doctor was like, oh, yeah, no. And then the second doctor, because I went there twice, because I'm like, dude, there's something wrong here. He was standing in, like, it's like if you were standing in a room and there's a cobra or like a rattlesnake and right by the door. And he was just standing at the back of the room like this. And I'm like, is it contagious? And he's like, extremely. And I go, okay. And he's like, I'm going to prescribe you. So he was just like, I'm like, dude, you know.
He didn't think, who have I been around? Oh, Kyle. Maybe I should just
let him know. I mean, no, you'll know. You'll know. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to tell you?
Like, tell me, hey, you might.
What, you know, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to make you paranoid.
Yeah.
I just saved you like 4 days. I saved you 1 week of paranoia.
I could up the turmeric.
No, none of it happens.
Vitamin C.
I've got those turmeric lime ginger cubes.
Yeah.
From Pate.
Yeah.
I eat 3 of those things a day. Like, I'm eating vitamins. I eat organic, like grass-fed everything. Like, but I've got these mangy children that run around and touch other children's things and slobber everywhere. And so we think we got it because we took the kids in when they were teething because they had fevers. We took them into the doctor just to like, hey, do you have any, like, can you give them like a little children's dosage of whatever? And I'm pretty sure they just got hands, foot, and mouth, and that just didn't happen to them because they had like sores on their mouth. But the lady was like, no, those are just teething blisters and they're biting their tongues and stuff. And these dudes are just drooling all over me.
Damn.
And then there it is. So needless to say, long story short, I haven't been able to eat anything.
Do kids still get the chicken pox?
I don't know. Chickenpox are non-existent. Now you get this blisters all over your face and mouth and hands and foot and butthole, I guess. I don't have that part either. Just FYI. That's just something I read on the internet.
That's good.
just FYI. Yeah, hands, foot, mouth, and butthole. Anyway, this is going to be a great show.
We are going to talk about the Red Legion thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's coming up here.
I watched a coach's show yesterday that was on. They were talking to Tom Cole about it. Mikey going back.
Yeah, we got a funny anecdote story that we'll tell everybody about Mikey. But I want to quickly big shout out and thank you to everybody of our show supporters, everybody whose name is in green out there who watches the show religiously. Everybody else out there who just watches, throw a like in the little thumbs up kind of thing down there on the bar. And support the channel. So we do appreciate all of you. Also, our show sponsors, Junior from BFPgear.com. We also have the boys from NECTR keeping us. I haven't had a NECTR in a while either because, my gums are just inflamed. But they did just drop off some turf for me. Some like nice, thick turf. So I'm going to be teaching the kids how to crawl the snake. That's also going to be nice because it'll be just in preparation for the combine this weekend. So we'll kind of like prep that out. We'll lay it in here. It's going to be tricky to get it in there because the cat that's somewhere in our garage. I'll tell you that story in a minute too. Lots of great stories coming up for you guys. And then a big shout out to Arfon and Gen X Global. They've been supporting the show for a very long time. And the season's kicking off here. I know that the winter is thawing in some places out there, so make sure you guys are getting some freshies for the events. Get some fresh pods. Links are all down below. He supports the show. Also supports like a green initiative, so they have an additive in there. They partnered with a company that actually Zupa works for. That adds an element to the plastic molding process that allows the plastics to break down naturally in a landfill. Mm-hmm. So it's really great for the environment as well. So and then on top of that, guys, if you haven't heard already, you can just buy the lids, the pods.
I was thinking about that too. This past weekend I was coaching.
Dude, it's gonna start like this new, like when you see all the people like looking through the trash cans for cans.
Yeah.
And then like throw all the cans. There's gonna be kids that are doing that, like just broken lid pods. Because now you get a pod for whatever the lid is.
Yeah. I saw the lids too on the ground. I was like, oh yeah. Big
shout out to Chris Sawtell out here every week, gifting the memberships, getting these guys on the wheel of names. We got some prizes to give away. Shipped out a bunch of prizes. I packaged them up last week. I shipped them out yesterday. Because it was gone. But make sure if you are a show member and a show supporter that you guys all give us your addresses.
Who said that? Steve? Mm-hmm. On how universal are pod lids. I think that it has to be for the brand.
Yeah, don't try to
Gen X ones aren't gonna fit on the die lock lids.
No, don't put the Where's my funny pod? Where's this thing? The Gen X pods will not will not fit on your 1990s era. It's not gonna fit on the 90s era JT.
Should have called that the Dune.
I think the Al Habib.
Yeah.
This is the Bushman's. This is how you catch fish.
Oh yeah.
They swim in like one side, but they can't get out the other.
Multiple uses.
Yeah.
Multiple uses.
Or it's like one of those things where you.
Slam pod.
It's a. I have like an appropriate joke that I'm gonna withhold from you guys actually right now. I gotta polish it up before I really present it, and then realize whether or not it's a good idea to share it or not. But I think you guys can use your imagination. And then also big shout out to Pate Smith and Pate Smith Law. Helping everybody out there with their insurance claims for, especially for weather damage. This has been a wild winter, especially here in California. If you or somebody you know needs help managing claims, negotiating and litigating insurance claims, they'll help you out. At least point you in the right direction. Let you know if it's a good idea to move forward. They'll review everything, all your files, give you guys tips and all that stuff. That part's all free. Figure out if you guys need to file a claim or not. And Also looking for contractors. If you or anybody you know in the state of Florida, Louisiana, or Texas are a contractor, he can work with you guys as well and connect them. Again, one of the big things is people helping show supporters or people who support paintball in general, the sponsors that we have right here down below are also involved with other media outlets in paintball, with other podcasts in paintball, with the move of the event to the move of the prelims. Pate does a lot there. Gen X helps a lot of the pro teams and a lot of the divisional teams. BFP Gear sponsors a lot of other companies and teams, and actually they just signed PB Fit as a team. Yeah, so they got Dynasty and the team that always beats Dynasty under the BFP umbrella. So excellent work there. And then also finally another quick announcement, because I just had a meeting today specifically, and I just talked to another team. If you guys are a team and you're looking for sponsorship, looking to match and get sweet deals, you guys can join the Imperial program, the all-in or the 5-star programs. You guys can get kitted out like AC Diesel and Empire Gear, or you guys can get dialed in like Dynasty and JT Gear. Packages start at between $250 and $350, depending on what division you're in. And you head-to-toe gear, goggles, pack, loader, tank, custom jersey, pants, team t-shirts, team banners. It's
around $250, $350.
Yeah, per guy. Yeah.
The
that's
tank just alone. Tank and mask.
I've been telling a bunch of guys. Someone's like, I already got my team. The guys on my team already have goggles. I'm like, dude, just sell your old goggles or sell the new ones.
Yeah.
And buy the package, and you're gonna come out way above. I think the retail value, like depending on the size of the tank and what goggles you choose, you can get Flex 8s, you can get the events, you can get the profilers, you can get Pro Flexes. You get
if I'm wearing JT goggles, I'm gonna have 3 pairs. You want to mix and match.
You want to mix and match. Yeah. That's it. Jake Turner is part of the Imperial program. Those guys have got. I believe you guys said that you got the jerseys and pants deal. And then on top of that, you get paint contingencies. WCPPL teams, NEXL teams, NVPS teams, USXBL teams, all those guys. For first place, you get 15 free cases of paint.
Nice.
And then I think it's like 10 and 5 or something. NXL teams, if you win your respective division and you're an all-in team, you get all your paint paid for. Free. Freebie. So, Jake Turner did it for MVPS. So, huge home run. Absolutely no-brainer. Sign up. Check out paintballsponsorship.com. You can... Brian Stewart's in also. And the Precision team. Got it right. It's a good name. We approve the name also, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Approve the name. So anyway, home run. Solid. Highly recommend it. If you guys need any questions or have any questions about it, you can also send me you can hit me up. So let's coming back from Mexico, I get home. Sloan is telling me how she got a present. We got a present. It's in the garage. And I'm like, oh, cool. They got me a present. That sounds nice. I never get presents because I had to bring presents. I have to bring presents home. So I come in here and Camille's kind of got a smirk on her face. And then I walk in the garage, which we literally I lived here for 5 years, 6 years. And every time that we clean a space out in the garage, you're like, yes, I can move around. I used to be able to pull my car in here, by the way. Remember that? Yeah.
I think it's funny too. There's like the rideable horses. There's like
3 or 4 of them.
3 iterations here. And one's like, wooden one that you would see in like 1902. And then you have one that has has springs, so it's like 1950. And then there's one that is what were those things called? Segway.
Segway,
Its front legs are connected to a Segway, and the back is rideable. So it's like that one's from 2000s. So you have like every 25, 50 years version all in here. So back
to that. So I look over, and so anyway, we cleared out because I'm like, I need this area to shoot some video content. For core. We got the Titman stuff going on. I got a couple axes back there. I got all these cool sweatshirts. I got a little photo studio I set up. Cleared a bunch of area out. Every time there's a nice space, she just puts something there. There's a bike in the way, and there's this in the way. Now I look over. There's a dual cage kennel with a cat laying in it, and the cat, out of all the places it could sleep and lay, is laying in its litter box. And it's got a lot of hair on it. It's like a fluffy cat. Because Sloan really wants a rabbit, and Camille's like, yeah, we'll get you a rabbit.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, don't get a rabbit. Please don't buy another varmint.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of space here in the south side, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was a rabbit, and I'm like, damn it. Oh, well. But it's even worse. It's a cat. And I grew up with cats. I don't mind cats. Like, I kind of like them. But like we just don't need another animal to care for.
Yeah.
Let alone an animal that takes up, the cage is 5 feet by 3 feet. It's just like a big footprint right there. And then it's got litter all over it. And it's a long-haired cat. It's laying in the litter box. There's going to be litter everywhere. There's cat food on the ground right here.
That thing looked grumpy. Because Ryan texted me yesterday. He's like, "Hey, would you like a cat?"
You want a cat?
I'm like, HELLLLLLLL. No, capitals. All capitals. He's like, "Come on."
You need an animal.
Not that. I don't want a salvage title cat. Also, because it's gonna just be grumpy. It's probably not even one. It's like, why do I have to live here?
That's what it thought. So, then
where is the cat?
I don't know. It got out of the cage, not on my watch. I've been home for a day. Camille was like, opened the cage and started cleaning something out in the garage. Now the cat is just somewhere in here. It's in here somewhere. Could be back here. I don't hell know where the thing is. We have no idea where it is, but its food was eaten. Camille's like, "Did you let it out?" And I go, "I wouldn't dare cross you like that."
You have a camera in here.
It doesn't matter. It's not like the camera's gonna pick up the cats. Cats are very clever. And
fine. See what happened to the cat.
Well, no, it got out of it. Camille left the cage open, and it is somewhere in here. Cat, like it's in here somewhere. We've got so much crap.
Why'd you leave the cage open?
It's not. I am. The only reason I'd leave the cage open, if the cage were open, the garage door would be open. But I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was Camille. She left the cage open to maybe like let it familiarize itself with her, and then it just got out and hid underneath a blanket or on my surfboards or I don't know, one of my gear bags or where. A cat could be anywhere. It could be anywhere.
You think maybe she let it out?
I hope she let it out.
And doesn't want to.
Yeah, I also got shot in the fingers, thanks. So, the cat is not dead. The cat is somewhere in my garage. Chris, when you come out here in a month, if you want to take a cat home,
in the garage.
It's most likely in the garage. I was in here earlier and I heard something like kind of like bang around over there. I think it's behind the studio.
When that is that? Did the cat? You watch it walk around, or have you only?
I have only witnessed it laying in the litter box, and I looked at Camille and go, "Get rid of this thing." And I said, "You got a week to get rid of this, otherwise I'm going to find someone to get it." So I texted you and I texted Hoffman. Does anybody in San Diego want a cat? It's a really nice cat.
Damien, maybe.
Damien will definitely take it. Yeah.
Does it like? You didn't see it move? Does it move slow? Because I'm wondering if it like crawled in.
It's a cat. It moves fast. What do you mean?
Well, if it's an older cat, it might have just went in somewhere and
passed out.
Yeah.
Great.
It does get kind of cold down here too.
It's a cat. It's a feline. It's over here eating varmint and things and spiders and it's canned purine and stuff. Yeah, cats are super easy to take care of. And Chris, I'll tell it didn't come with a Carfax. I don't know how old it is.
I told you who to give it to.
I can't get it.
Aaron's sister.
Yes.
You should. Well, you guys should ask her.
Yeah, we gotta get it. Yeah. Bobby Kramer. Cat facts. Yeah, if you mega members, we're gonna give away a cat on the show today. We can do that. We've shipped chickens in the mail. You know you can ship chickens? No? It's a new one. All right. So today's guest on the show here is gonna be Eric Neal. We're gonna get him on here soon. He actually runs the MLPB Armory, which is actually really cool. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's where you can play. Matty Marshall definitely will take it. You can do. We have Fantasy Paintball. There's like a Fantasy Paintball that goes on that a lot of people don't know about. And so this is actually how you play it, and it's really cool. Launched it at World Cup. A couple of kinks that you need to work out. But I'll send you this PDF too, so you can have a look at it, Kyle.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty sweet. And I have I've talked to him in great length quite a bit, and it's really clever how they did it. Like you field a team. Has anybody in here played the MLPB Fantasy yet? Or has anybody gotten the packs? You can like buy these packs. And trading cards. Also, if you have like these legacy packs or legacy cards, you get bonuses. So anybody who has 2024, 2025 cards, you can buy specific collectible cards from players in particular. It's actually really sweet and very intuitive and clever. It was a little tricky on my end, but that's why we're going to get Eric here on to discuss it specifically. But yeah, has anybody checked it out? MLPBArmory.com, Jenks. There is a link down below, and you'll wait to hear kind of how to play, what it's all about, and get them on there. It's you're getting NFTs essentially. You're buying NFTs. Benjamin Nelson bought a bunch of packs and played during World Cup. Yeah, sweet. Real quick, I do want to address, and maybe we can talk about it at the end of the show, with the whole Russian Legion thing. I want to make sure that I write that down.
I was gonna say we could.
I think that's gonna take a little bit more than the 10 minutes that we have before Eric comes on. So let's talk about the Russian Legion thing at the end.
Okay.
Let's address Ryan Gray's comments. Let's address Tom Cole's comments and the Russian Legion letter that was written. I think that's gonna be a good one to cap the show off. And then the awkward departure from Mike Urena, and maybe we can text him and get him on at the end of the show just to kind of air it out, just kind of clear the air.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I saw those guys from Paintball Sundays did a funny meme. I forgot what it was. But I saw Mikey's face. I just saw it actually before I walked in.
It's great. I mean, I'm gonna make sure I get all that on there. So let's get Eric Neal in here real quick. Let me what do we got here? Let me grab all this, and then I'll also talk a little bit more about our event and practice that we had, which is fun. Also, a little announcement possibly about a cool X ball. We got a lot of cool announcements now. I'm thinking about it. Put that one down here as well. If I don't write it down,
you can do this now. Also,
what is it? What am I doing?
You
can mirror your phone on your computer.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
So you just leave it over on the side. It's perfect for here too because you put.
I've got extra monitors. Yeah, but I have to pop out the chat thing because I can barely see it because I gotta maximize this thing. It's getting a little. I don't want to say I'm getting old, but you know what I mean. All right. So let's get the NECTR projector up and running here. I'm gonna scoot this way. We're gonna get Eric Neal, MLPB Armory, on here. Like this. Let's get him the same camera. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Let me. Whoops. Application capture. All right. And how we doing?
Ears on.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Am I in?
All right. You can hear me.
Our video.
Yep. Our video's on. You can see us.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Dude,
loud and clear. You guys see me okay? Hear me okay?
We can see you. We can hear you. And we're just this is the first time we've done this so seamlessly.
Beautiful. You guys are pros.
That's right. Actually, that's what I meant to say. Dude, good to see you. Good to have you on here. I gave. Do you have the stream up also? That the link that I sent?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So you can see the comments, and you heard us talking crap about you a second ago.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about you guys on those points.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course. And so, like I said, this is live. And so every Tuesday, 4 p.m. we do our live show. Sorry, I had to kick you off last week. I was struggling.
I get the sense.
Not
Yeah,
ready.
no worries. I'm glad to see you're back. That's great.
Thanks.
He's rarely ever sick too, so I think I've only seen him sick like 3 times, but he goes down.
it's like it builds up. I don't know if you'd rather be sick like once a year and you're like, oh, I got the flu, or you just like wait for it to really sucker punch you.
Yeah.
So I gave a brief little intro. I think we met a couple of times last year, and we chatted a handful of times, specifically about the NFT concept, and then the way that you were packaging it, and then kind of like how you molded the current product of the MLPB Armory, which I like when you launched it, and I saw it actually in play. Very cool, super intuitive, and I've got some graphics that I'll share here in a little bit. But yeah, why don't you give us a little bit of who you are, what the project is, and also kind of like how you came into the paintball aspect of everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those are some very broad questions.
Right.
Like we could do a podcast about each of those. So I'll keep it short and sweet. And if there's follow-up questions, no worries.
Yeah.
I started working with blockchain like 4 years ago, but I've always been a sports guy. I'm in the advertising world and have built some digital products, digital campaigns for brands. And when the blockchain FRAIGE hit, I just dove in to learn about it, a lot about it. And I was really fascinated with the technology. And I built an initial product called Third Act, which was a digital collectibles marketplace for the performing arts. And we built a tech stack that we were able to like theme out like Shopify and make other versions of the marketplace for other leagues and brands. And so I was connected with Tom Cole years ago through the sport, just through the agency, working in sport and live entertainment. And I saw a connection here between connecting paintball with a live entertainment product to make digital collectibles. So we started with really just focusing on building player cards for players where royalties go back to the players. You get new cards every year, and we create a collectible that's kind of modern day merch, really new, interesting kind of concept. And so I just saw nobody else was really doing that, certainly in paintball, and wanted to try to make something new for the league. I feel like I kind of caught the bug of paintball, where it's just such an emerging sport. Not just emerging, that actually like undersells it to a degree. It's such a growing sport, and there's so much passion behind it that I thought there's something to be made here to celebrate and commemorate the players and the fans and the industry. So that's what gave way to MLPB Armory. And I've got to give a lot of kudos to Tom Cole for taking a chance on me and us, our team, Momental, to build this, because he was really put a lot of trust into us and a lot of support from the league into us. And we made the original product, which is a marketplace for player cards to collect. And that was kind of midway through last year. And then at the end of the year, we launched MLPB Fantasy Paintball. Mm-hmm. So this is where you can go draft your team, field a team of players whose cards you own. And when they score on the field, you get points for your team. And there's a live ranking leaderboard. And we actually gave away some pretty wicked prizes for World Cup. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before, a lot of people probably don't know about this, and that's because we just piloted it for World Cup. So if you're just getting into this or like wondering like, wait, why can't I get into this? It was a small pilot to kind of test and see, and we got some great response. So now we're kicking it off for the whole season of 2025. There's a ton of new updates, but that's kind of the background on how we got here.
Yeah, man, it's like the amount of tech that you have and the amount of kind of information and everything that you have into this is pretty impressive. Like it's really cool. I can't even like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around is kind of what I'm getting at about how intuitive it is and how quick it is too. Right? Like one of the things I noticed when I was watching this, and I think a couple of people in here have mentioned that they played it.
Yeah, I saw a few people here said they played it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And yes, so you can buy individual player cards. So that's actually another cool thing. So what you're also doing, and this is, I mean, a first for pretty much any across industry, right? With the exception of, and actually for the most part, not many companies even do this, but a lot of times when a naming right is sold in paintball, it's just like, there you go. Hey, I sold your card. And people are like, okay, wait a minute. Like, do I get anything out of this? Or there's a shirt with Ryan Greenspan on it. And like, hey man, where'd you get that picture? Or like someone selling your picture is another thing. We don't really see many kickbacks on that. Unless we have a specific deal like the Elite series from JT, or when I had my own signature series from HK, who they still owe me thousands of dollars. They just refuse to pay me. But that's usually what you're getting, right? But with you guys, what you set up, it was really cool because obviously we talked about it prior, and it was something very unique because you're like, look, Ryan Greenspan, every pro player gets 5 of their cards. Is that correct? 5 cards.
Yep.
So there's 5 Ryan Greenspan cards out there that I get, and then there's also other ones in the deck that you can a randomizer. And obviously you want to get the idea is if you want to win fantasy, you want to get players who are playing a lot of points, right? So there's value to specific cards, so that way you can score. And every point that I'm on the field, that which I score, you're getting points on that. So you kind of like want to stack your deck and build your team based on that sort of thing. So you want to go out and seek these cards. Well, on MLPB Armory, Kyle, you can go create your account, and you have your 5 cards, and you can set a price on them and then put them on the market. and every time they trade hands,
You get like a royalty.
you get a royalty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Automatically right to your account.
Right to your account. Yeah.
Because I did a little bit of NFT trading. Put way too much into it now. I was just looking back at my OpenSea account, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember there's thousands of dollars spent. These are worth like cents now. But yeah, I remember how all that works too, where you get the creator royalty percentage and set them up. I actually, when this, I got an email, I think, from you guys back like right around World Cup, but for some, I wasn't able to activate it, I think.
Or you didn't?
Yeah, we worked. It was a pilot kind of project at the time, so there were some roadblocks and hurdles to get through. So we've cleaned up a lot of them. But if you have any issues, you can write. I think we have each other's email. Feel free to write me at hello@momental.io, and we can walk you through anything that you need to get up and running. Once you're in, it's really easy. Just sometimes there's, with the email sign up, sometimes it can be a little tricky. But
it just takes me to like a page to put the password in. Then I'm like, I make one here, but then it's saying.
Yeah, so there's definitely a small barrier to like kind of get it going, but that's also the really cool thing, Eric, that you've made yourself available to me quite a bit. Like even a couple of Tony from Baja Blasters was out at the NXL, and he's like, I bought some cards. Like, what am I doing? How does this work? And you're like, oh, yeah, we'll change this right now. Or like, how is his experience? And so it's kind of like you're constantly molding it a little bit. Let me share this. Let me add this PDF here. So that you can kind of walk us through it a little bit, and then I'll share the screen as well.
We're super responsive to feedback from the community. Like you said, there are 2 features that aren't even in this deck that were directly from actually our conversations, and another one from conversations with other fans. And so, we're always updating UI and features to make sure that it's just super simple.
I can't do the PDF right now. And then actually, what also is really cool is just take us through really quickly, like just while I'm setting this thing up, explain how that scoring kind of aspect and concept works. Like how does the game itself work?
Yeah, so you can field up to 5 players on your team at any time. They have to be from one of each of the tiers that the league sets ahead of each tournament, so tier 1 through 5. And when that player that is on your active team goes to play a point, you get a certain amount of points. And if they win that point, they get even more points. And there's a slide in here that shows you kind of the scoring breakdown. Regular games are worth a certain amount. Quarters, semis, and finals are worth increasingly more. So if you're a player that goes further into the tournament, into Sunday, you're going to be getting more points. And I think, this is the scoring piece here. So you can see a regular game played. If you just play a point, you're getting 3,000 points. If they win that point, you will get 7,000 additional points. So a total of 10,000 points.
Oh, damn.
So this is actually, and for people who played last year, this might look a little different. It was 1,000 less. If you just kind of go back to the next slide or the previous slide before you, it was 3 points and 7 points. Now it's 3,000 and 7,000. So it seems a lot more relatively they're the same, and that's because there's a points boost to the game this year. But if you go back one more slide, this is the kind of the biggest update to this season, and there is kind of a little bit of explanation.
Oh yeah.
So Fantasy Paintball is free to play. Free to play this year. Last year for the World Cup, we had it where you had to own the player's card to play the player, earn the points, play the game, win the prizes. We heard everybody loud and clear, why isn't this free? I can play fantasy football for free. I can play fantasy basketball for free. Why can't I play this for free? Hear you guys loud and clear. The reason why we did it this way to begin with was to pilot it, see if there was demand, and if people showed up and were interested. They were. Big check. Thank the community so much for showing their support and showing up. Now what we've done is we made it where anybody can make an account. You make an account, make a wallet, doesn't have to have anything in it, and you can go field any player you want to your team as long as it fits within those tiers that are set by the league every tournament. But I'll now tell you, if you kind of go to the next 2 slides, people who bought cards, and if you want to buy cards, that's going to increase your chances of winning. So we want to respect the people who really want to play, want to get an edge. So if you own the player's card from last year, you're going to get a 5% bonus on all of those scores that we just went through. And if you own the current card, you get a 20% bonus on everything they score this year. And you can actually own last year's and this year's and get 25% bonus on everything they score.
But wait, does that work? But you can't play me twice. So if you have my 2024 and my 2025 card, that it just, the system knows that you own both of those, so you're going to get that bonus automatically put in every time you play me? Or how does it work?
Correct.
Because you can't play me twice in the same match.
Correct. So you own those two cards, but you play yourself once, and it will show you, there'll be a little, symbol on your account, on your profile,
Okay.
or on your card when it's fielded, that has a little 25% plus bonus.
This is great.
Another big update here is that we're going to have two kinds of rewards. So for people who played, you've experienced how the rewards work for a tournament. We're also going to have rewards for the entire season. So you can play and win and come first in Fantasy Paintball for Tampa Bay Open, but the following tournament, you might get third. You might not rank at all. But through every tournament through the year, by the end of it, whoever has the most points there as well, there will also be a prize. So you have the chance at each tournament to win, as well as season-long rewards.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you got new, and you're going to get, so the cards right now, they're going to be blank until after we're going to start updating the photos with fresh photos for this season, correct? Because the guys are going to be,
yes.
Like ABJ, for instance, you showed on that last one in one jersey, and he'll be in a new jersey on this season.
Yeah, so we have, the packs are out for this season. They can be bought in 1, 3, and 5 cards. So you can buy one that just, if you go back to one slide, sorry to do this to you. You can buy a pack that has one random player in it. You don't know who you're going to get, 3 or 5. These are available on MLPBArmory.com right now. And just pay in mind too, if you're looking at a 2024 pack or a 2025 pack, they're pretty clearly marked, but just be mindful of that. These cards are going to be able to be purchased now. You're going to hold your spot for them, and we'll announce in about 2 weeks or so when you can redeem them. And because of how headshot day works, we won't have the final artwork ready until after the first tournament when those headshots come in, but you'll be able to redeem them and see what you got. The graphic and media file will be updated afterwards to the current player in the current uniform representing their current team.
Mm-hmm. And then you 5 players is what you kind of already explained.
Yeah, and this is the basics for people who might not have seen it before. That's kind of the interface there where you can draft your team. You can select, edit your players. And the cool thing is you kind of lock in for the day. So it doesn't, you can, between days, edit your team. Up until just before the first game starts, you can edit your team. When that first game starts, all teams lock for the day until the final game of the day ends. So you can go back on at 7 or 8 o'clock after the first day and make some edits based on what you're seeing, and then it'll lock in the next morning, and you're locked in for the day, and you can watch and enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Hold on, sorry, I'll try to log into my account so you guys can see, because it's actually kind of cool. Like when you get one of the cards, it's like a graphic, right? Do you have one of those handy?
Yeah, I think I can send you a link to one if you want. There's probably
I want to say, or maybe
if you go to the search bar, you could just put in Ryan Greenspan, and it should. Let me see. How can I send this to you here?
Yeah, so it shows the ones that are on sale right now. So yeah, that's actually how I'll share. Let me share this screen. So here's like the marketplace. So you can go in here. You can type in Kyle Spicka player cards right now. So obviously you haven't set it up, but nothing is for sale right now, right? But here's your player card. So it's kind of it's cool. It's like shows your name, AC Diesel, the series 1 of them, and then when you go to, I think actually Rainey has set them up. Possibly. No, Matt. Oh, it's Haney. Didn't like his name. Nope, he didn't set it up either. Who do you know if anybody else aside from me has set up their?
Harmon Tyler has. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and he has some listed. So, and I'll show you if I don't. Oh, it's actually also I think because you're not logged in as well. That's why there's no select to purchase maybe.
Okay. Did just show mine a second.
So Tyler obviously has his heat cards, and
right.
we'll update those obviously next year for when the headshots come in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you owned this card, for example, for all of 2025, you would get a 5% bonus on what he scores. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. And then it's cool because for guys that swap around from team to team. It's kind of cool because you get them in a different jersey and a different look every year.
Yeah.
I look the same for the last 25 years, so I'm not can't grow a beard or mustache, but you're kind of stuck with like just a hair that gets grayer and grayer each year for the most part. So not that cool of a change, but you get guys with different jerseys. You get guys with like cool little features and stuff like that. And then as it gets on, it'd be cool to add like some kind of specific stats or a quote or something like that. You can kind of personalize these things. But certainly a cool kind of start and concept like that. Every player and so Peter, so this is what we're trying to do. So he's asked, is every player going to be setting up? So the idea is to educate the players also and make sure that like maybe get that email link for MLPB sent out again, and really do a push for this sort of thing, because it's definitely, like I said, if you want a leg up, like you can buy like just the packs, you can buy like a 5-pack or whatever and just be like, okay, I'm going to take these 5 random guys. But obviously, you want to grab the Tyler Harmon card. You want to grab the Alex Goldman card. You want to grab the cards of the guys that are going to be playing a lot of these points on some of these teams, because you can be very strategic with it. Now, getting the player to log in and set up their account and do all that so they can sell you the cards, because again, that like I think I put one up for like $30. You're like, I think you could probably charge more than that, but like it sold right away, because as soon as people started realizing like, hey, I can win like this, and because you get a random 5-pack and you don't get a top tier guy.
You don't get Ryan.
If you get me, you're stoked, but then you want to be, and then that's the other thing. Can the people who purchase the pack, so like if people are watching this and they buy a pack and they're like, okay, I've got two Spicka cards, or I've got 2 Sam Monville cards, can I sell one of those?
Yep. So your cards are yours. You own them, and that's why they're password protected by your account, and we don't actually save that second password. So this is also a reminder to people who are out there: write down and save your password. Because the second one we don't as a system save. But you can sell, it's a marketplace first. So you can pick up cards directly from players that list them. You can sell ones that you have duplicates of, or ones that you don't want to play that strategy and play that player. There are 2 features that I didn't actually send to you, Ryan, that are new to this year as well. One is the upgraded marketplace search kind of dashboard. We might have talked about this one, but if you go to marketplace, you can search really specifically. You can filter by the amount of price a card is listed for. You can search if you want it to definitely be a pack, you want it to be a card. You can filter by team. So there's a lot of kind of filters there that should help with finding cards you want. And another big feature that we'll do a lot more kind of explaining of later as well is the make offer. So what you can do as well is, as a fan, you can just go on and find a card you like or want. Even if it's not available for or listed currently, you can make an offer and that person receives a message and you have the option to accept or reject it if you own it.
Oh, that's sweet. That's really cool. Because again, if you're a fan or you want to build your team and you just need a guy and you're like, I need this guy. This is a great question. Are there going to be rare cards?
I mean, define rare. We have some fun. We have some fun ways that we're looking at gamifying, or not just gamifying, but adding some specialty or specialness to cards. Right now, it's really around kind of the rareness comes from the player that you want based on the strategy you want to play. So if you want to play this player within this tier, or you see an opportunity for a team that's been undervalued in the tiering because of a previous outcome, that's where kind of rarity in a bit of like an economy kind of starts to create exist.
I could foresee a couple different concepts with the rarity, the rareness part. Is you make the Greenspan, like the gold Greenspan card, which it doesn't give you any bonus stats or anything, but there's every event there's only one, or whoever, like Cyrus. There's 5 golden Cyrus cards that are out there in the public, or he gets, like if you win Golden Barrel, you get these. Yeah. There's 2 of them, ever in existence, and it doesn't give you anything bonus, or maybe it does. Maybe it gives you a 1% bonus, but it's more like it's a collectible. Yeah. Right? Instead of there being 50 of these cards out,
it doesn't get you extra points.
Right.
Yeah, but
or maybe like once an event, there's a Golden Barrel. right? Like
Yeah,
golden barrel coins.
absolutely. And we've talked about some stuff, and this is like still kind of in the R&D works, but we've talked about making like gold frames for the cards. They all have the same kind of common card, and maybe it's only given to people who win World Cup. Like if you owned a player from a team that won World Cup, you could opt in to like upgrade your card because you picked a winner. We've looked at a couple other fun things that we're still kind of tweaking with. I think I should note that there are a finite amount of each card every year. Mm-hmm. So, for example, there's only, I believe it's only 50 of everybody's card from 2024. So the players own 5 of their own. The rest are hidden in packs. So that in itself kind of creates some rarity, or at least scarcity, sure, or like a limit to the supply.
Are people encouraged to? Should you buy one pack, or he says, can you, or should you buy more than one pack? I think it's kind of like you can, depending on what you.
Yeah, you can buy as many as.
Yeah, what you get. What do you get dealt on the firstborn? You get, Yeah. You get
steak
or applesauce.
You probably want to do a few and then see what you get and see if you can sell some and re-up to get a pack, or go directly to somebody you want. I think there's some fun. Like we put a lot of work into kind of the animation and the experience of redeeming a pack and like it's selecting them and having them reveal. So that's a fun process, but it's fun to do a couple of them and then, try to jump online and trade and interact with people. It's kind of like a bartering marketplace. So have some fun with that as well. We've seen people jump on mid tournaments who like went in and bought 10 packs at a drop and just wanted to kind of like juice their team and find a way to win, which was kind of cool to see.
Right. That's cool. I mean, and what's great is like, kind of as we're spitballing these ideas and concepts, like it can evolve and it can get,
totally.
you can, and you've been really good and been responsive with a lot of this stuff, is like just making it, like, hey, what can make this better? Like that is cool. Like we can implement that. A bunch of people are asking like, what kind of prizes are they? What do you guys give away? Like, what do you guys give away at World Cup? What do you have on tap for the season?
Yep. So the prizes for this year haven't been announced yet. We're finalizing them with the league, with sponsors, endemic and outside of the league. So stay tuned for that. Last year for World Cup, we gave away a VIP World Cup experience for 2025. So that was, I believe it was a 3 or 4 night accommodations and VIP passes and pit passes to all of World Cup for this year. That was for the first place winner. Second place won VIP NXL pass. So for the whole season, they got VIP passes to every tournament. And then we gave away 2 packs to people 3 through 10. So people who ranked 3rd through 10th got 2 packs to redeem, get more cards, and kind of juice their team.
Juice it. Yeah, that's cool. And so explain Golden Barrel limited card would be great. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these comments right before I asked a question. What was the question that you had?
I think it was already
answered.
Yeah, already answered. Just about how it works with how the distribution is between like what we ourselves
own cards versus minted cards.
Yeah.
And then so I guess maybe just is everybody who's listening to this also familiar with how the digital marketplace and NFTs work? Because obviously there's a barrier to entry there that's a little bit confusing. Because again, you do have to set up 2 accounts. So you have to set up an MLPB Armory account, right? And this is the account. And correct me where I'm wrong. I just want to kind of like graze it over to the best of my knowledge. You set up the account there, and then that will allow you to begin to play the fantasy aspect of it. Then you have to set up basically a wallet, right? Which is where you're going to add funds to be able to purchase things. And then also if you need to sell anything, that's where you get your funds. So, and this is really important for the pro guys out there, because someone did ask, do I get my own cards, right?
Yes.
And Long Bob said the account setup is easy. I literally just did it a few minutes ago. Sweet. Good job, Long Bob.
Oh, love that feedback. But not everybody has that. There are, instant. Don't feel like frustrated if it doesn't.
The guys
work
who
out
have
for you.
Androids. No, I'm joking. Maybe. No, but it actually was pretty easy. But it did take a little bit for the pro side of things. But it's really important that if you are a pro player in the league that right now, that I'd go into your email and search MLPB Armory. And find that link and sign up for it, because then you can set the price and list your cards. And that's going to be really important moving into this first event, because obviously anybody who gets your card is going to get a 20% bonus, and then you get the money from the sale. And then every time that card it changes hands,
is resold. Yeah,
is resold. You get a portion of it. So say someone buys a Ryan Greenspan card, and then for $50 or $20 or $30 or $1,000, I don't know what you're gonna pay for them, but they buy my card and then they pull out a pack and then say, oh, I just got a Ryan Greenspan card. Lucky me. I don't need 2 of them. I'm gonna list this one for sale, right? And so now, and then as soon as that sells, I get a kickback on that. So if you're a player in the league, this is awesome. And it's probably one of the only, for a lot of the players in the league, this is also probably the only source of income that you can get from paintball, right? If you're not Alex Goldman. You know?
Yeah,
so,
we built this we wanted it to be hands off for players, like, and just help fuel them and support what you guys do for, playing and creating this entertainment that we love. So, and the fun part was just connecting it to the stats. We got connected to the official stats through the league, and we just want you guys going out there and playing more so we can enjoy and you guys get, some of the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, no, I think it's a home run, like obviously I'm not as tech savvy as some of the younger kids, but learning into it and understanding it. Cause at first you're like, when we first started talking, it was like, hey, we're going to create this NFT space for paintball. And I was like, I don't know if that's still a thing. I know my buddy, used to throw some money in the trash can with it a while back, but I know that the collectible side of things is pretty cool, and if you can kind of capture that, but the gamification of it is where it is an absolute home run, and we need that in our sport, right? We need, like, fantasy paintball is such a cool concept, and this one's so easy. It's when you play a point and you win a point. And so it's a very easy barrier to entry to understanding how the game works, and it makes it a lot easier also for you to like come in there and go, okay, I kind of figure out what guys I need, especially when you're on the bottom tiers. And this is why I think it's really important for those teams that are on the bottom tiers. So all the new semi-pro team, the new 2 teams, Sea Dogs and Leverage, the Tauntaun guys, the NYX guys, it's important to like know how to stack the teams down there. Like, of course, you're going to know how to get like, okay, let me get Jason Edwards and let me get Tyler Harmon and let me get Ryan Greenspan and let me get guys off this top tier list. And then the same thing with the Shock. Like, I need to get A-Rod and Corey Hall. Like, those are the cards that you want to get. But when you start to understand the rosters of the deeper side, like, I want to get the guys that are going to play all these points, and I got to now research that, and it actually makes it, because one thing I've learned about fantasy football, especially, is it made me a fan of football. But it also just like, who's your team? I don't really have a team. I just like this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy because they're on my team. Yeah, until they don't play well for me, but. For the most part, now you can like
you cut.
You can be like, I'm not really a fan of Infamous, but I really need Jonah to play well because I got him on my card. Yeah, and you're like, you know what? These guys aren't so bad after all. Like he won me some points. So it's kind of cool, and maybe for those of you guys who hate Dynasty, you're like, damn it, I got a Greenspan card. I hate that guy. Oh, well, he scored me some points. He's not such a bad guy after all.
I don't hate that about him.
So yeah. So this is certainly cool because again, it like anytime you can gamify something, it's a hook. So bravo on getting that kind of set up. Have you played paintball?
Here and there, not a ton, not as much as I'd like to admit, but I last year I went to a lot of tournaments, so I got I became definitely more of a fan.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope so. I hope you're a fan. No, this is cool. And you're based out of New York, right?
Yep. Yeah. So based out of New York, but I'll be at the tournaments and we'll get some signage and we'll get, happy to meet anybody and everybody who wants to talk about this stuff.
Let's see here. What about coaches cards? That's a cool one.
Yeah, it's funny you asked that. We had them initially in as giving them their cards, but then when the fantasy game came in, we didn't know how that fit into points. Mm-hmm. So as you bring it up, I mean, there could be something interesting there around coaches as they win, giving some kind of a multiplier or something. Maybe we really have to tinker to make sure it doesn't sway the scoring too much. But if there's appetite for it, I mean, you guys in the chat, let me know if it's something you want coaches included. We can play around with some concepts.
Yeah, it's like the coach bonus, like kind of gives you. It's like the defense and special teams one where no one like you can get the defense in fantasy football, and you can play the special teams, but it might hurt you, but it could hurt. You could win.
Yeah.
Risk and reward.
It's like a 2,000 bonus if your coach wins, but if he loses and you play him, then you lose 2,000 points. Dude, I like this. This is fun. Man, creating games is fun. This is
games
cool.
on games, right?
So the process behind it, I've tried to. I mean, I think I've tinkered around with kind of like a Shopify account to like add some products to a Shopify store, and it takes me a couple hours. What is the process behind creating a site with this type of UI and just the back end? It's like it. Do you have a like? How did you do that?
With the team. I am not that singularly smart with the team. So we're a small team. We've got kind of 3 developers that are really good together, know their stuff, and we work through problems and test things.
Mm-hmm.
It came from, we work with our blockchain partner Hedera, who we're a grant member of and have access to kind of their documentation and their kind of knowledge resource. So they're a great partner. You guys should check out Hedera, and HBAR is their kind of native token. They kind of really schooled me and us to a lot of how these nuances work. But otherwise, it's kind of a full stack team building a platform from scratch. And then we built it in a way where we can theme it out like a Shopify store to other brands and leagues. But we're loving kind of the response we're getting from the paintball community. So we're looking to double down with everybody and make this even better for y'all.
Is there an app version for this?
Not currently. That's definitely been talked about a lot, iOS and Android. Right now, we did it as a web app test kind of response. Made it as easy as we could. Definitely optimized for mobile. Like, you should check it out on mobile. It works pretty well, I like to think. But kind of apps down the road are definitely being looked at.
Mm-hmm. And then how quickly or how often are cards updated for like mid-season pickups, player moves? You kind of have to be on top of all that. But how does that work?
Yeah, so the nice thing about it is because, yes, we have to be on top of it, and we have a system. We have a really robust creative kind of process to render out new things as we get new assets in for headshots and team updates and jerseys. The nice thing about the cards is they're linked directly to the player ID. So even when a player changes teams, it knows that the game will know, the fantasy game will know that player ID has played a point or won a point, regardless of what team they're on. So that will happen automatically. The graphics and media of the cards, that'll take a little bit of time. And I think we're still figuring out kind of how those will export, if we're going to make whole new cards or how the ownership structure, if that works.
When it says 50, is that total, though? That'll be 50 of all time?
Sorry, where are you referring to?
We're on the player card section. So my card number 3 of 50. So it's every year you release 50 of each player's cards, and then we get 5 of each one to list on here. And so on mine, I think I've sold. I don't know where to look at the.
You've sold a few, I think your number 1 or number 2 went for $125. That was a top sale. Like, that was a big one from a big fan. So, other ones have gone for $4, $30, $10. It ranges.
And that's the thing, is you get to list your price, right? I think one of the things I would suggest for those pros that are listening to this or watching this is don't undersell yourself, especially Series 1, number 1. I think when I first, I was like, oh, let me see, I'll just put this thing here for $15. You're like, I think it's gonna be a little bit more than that. I was like, okay. And so I mean, you get to put your price out there, and that's a cool kind of concept on that one. Now, and people can still buy the 2024 packs if they want.
I think there's still there might be like 100 packs left or something from 24, more or less, and then there's the 2025 packs just released now. So if you go to the homepage, you can check those out now. But I don't know if maybe one person's bought them because we just literally before this podcast.
I was just looking at the homepage. There's been 5.
Oh, there you go.
5 purchases since we've been on the show.
Oh, it shows it.
Yeah. So a cool thing is on the homepage, there's a section in the middle that says buy and sell in the marketplace, and you can see a live feed of who's purchasing. just kind of as those tick in. So it's like it's active. I wanted to show people that like this is people are doing this stuff. It's a marketplace.
Oh, cool. So this is the I see. So edition number 3, edition 2. So someone on here, Kev, it shows their email. Bought pack number 1. That's kind of cool. About the first pack. Okay, and then I see
so they can't
2024 player card series 190. So you sold 190 packets last year.
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah, 2 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 13, 15 minutes ago. Cool. We're getting someone bought a 2024 series.
Was the field layout, was that kind of just a added thing, or do you like, is that something you would need to purchase in order?
No, these are official field layouts from the tournament themselves. So we took the exact copy or replicas of the layouts and made them into kind of commemorative tokens. And this was before the game existed, so we made these more as pure collectibles.
I see.
We do have some ideas down the road on how we might layer in some utility, but nothing's kind of even promised on that spot in that regard yet.
I mean, this is wild. The graphics on this is pretty cool.
I forget too if you already asked this. Do they need to? I mean, I guess I can just click buy and look. I didn't know if you had to set up. Actually, I'm not logged in. I can't. Have like a MetaMask wallet or anything, or you can just buy like with a credit card.
So yeah, it's all credit card. It's all through
nice.
Stripe. So Stripe,
cool.
which powers everything. The wallet that you can log in with your own wallet. There's, I think, only kind of 2 wallets that are compatible right now: Blade and Hashpack, which are Hedera's leading wallets.
Okay.
But we can issue one directly when you sign up. You make it and save it with your own private password, and then that's connected to your account. You can download those keys if you want. So if you want to put them in another wallet or app later, if you're really savvy, you can do that. You're totally able to do that. Otherwise, it just kind of is plug and play, one stop within your account on the website.
I mean, I think that's great, having this, especially because like that could be a huge barrier for entry. Like I remember I went through a lot of troubleshooting trying to figure out, swapping tokens and doing all that. So especially, I think this in some way too is kind of the future of making the NFT space or collectibles like this a little bit easier to kind of transact and interact, because if you're trying to explain to people that have no idea, hey, you got to go through, Coinbase, transfer your money over here and switch it to like Ethereum and then switch it to this other account and then buy it. They're gonna be like, dude, I'm not doing that. And that alone could
make your password.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying like that alone will deter like how you guys have done it is awesome, because I think that you lose probably, I don't know, 70-80% of people if they have no idea how to do that stuff. They're not gonna like trying to navigate all that is just a huge headache if you've never done it before. So
dude,
it's
Cody
awesome that
Mikowski
you guys
owns your card.
What?
Yeah, it's
Look, so this is kind of cool. So
hold on, let me
look, I'm gonna go onto here, so you can search by team, right? Where did you just go? Diesel. Where did I just say? AC Diesel. So I can go onto AC Diesel. I can apply this, and then I just saw your card right here, card number 5, owned by Cody Mikowski. So that means that Cody owns this card. He doesn't have it listed, so he must have opened it in a pack.
Yeah, he must have. Yeah. Which edition is it?
It's 2024.
5 out of 50.
Number 5.
5 out of 50. Yeah, let's see here.
So that's kind of cool. And then just as a confirm, so everybody knows, the 2025 packs, when you buy one right now, you'll get a link to redeem it. Is that correct?
So you can't redeem the 2025 packs yet. When you buy it, you're holding your spot to redeem them in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the 2024 packs you can redeem, but they only redeem 2024 cards.
And the reason for this is, just in case you guys are wondering, is we don't know what the rosters are yet.
Yeah.
As you guys know, people jump ship, day of. So they gotta solidify the rosters, because you don't want to buy the card and then get a guy on a team and then he's now on another team because It just would have mixed things up a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah. So the cards will be released ahead of the first tournament. They'll have some I guess some elements that will be updated as those details get confirmed, like the team and obviously the headshots, those graphics. But you will be able to play the card, and their headshot will show up in the fantasy game. And if you own that card, even if it doesn't have the final graphic, you'll still get the associated points bonus of 20% if you own the card at that time.
Got it. Fabrice Colombo, number 1. And then, so this was let's see, do we need 2025 cards to play this year, or can 2024 cards carry over?
So no, it's free to play. You can pick any player out of the gate. If you own cards from last year, you get that 5% bonus. If you own cards from this year, 20%. If you own both, 25%.
Okay, yeah, cool. So let's clarify this part of it. So anybody can play the fantasy aspect of it, right? You can pick me for free, but if you own my card, you're getting a 20% bonus. So if we go back
the current year card,
year card, sorry. And if you own both of them, so it's in your interest to own these things because you do get a bonus. And to kind of like go back over the scoring side of things. So just if you play a point, you get 3,000 points, and if you win that point, you get 10,000. So if you own my card, you're getting 12,000 points. If you actually purchased it out of a pack or from me in particular. But if you just kind of draft your team for free and just grab guys at whim, you might not get, you just don't get the bonuses, so you're not going to be as competitive, I think is what it is. But you still have an opportunity to win, because at the same time, like, if you just kind of go and pick the best guys, like that's a big one. But again, if you can reach out to the players and you're like, hey man, I'd love to buy your card, like here's $15. A lot of players might say yes, and that's worth the 20% bonus to be competitive. In my opinion. And so guys that want to buy cards specifically from players. So say I go into this marketplace, watching the show, and I'm like, hey, I want to buy an Archie Barnes Jr. card because I see that he is always on the show, and it's ABJ, and it says Archie Barnes Jr., so he's fresh in my mind. So I type his name in to the top. Am I still sharing the screen? Yeah. So
I see the PDF over the screen there. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Archie. So I click on Archie Barnes Jr. and how do I find cards? So Baja Blasters has one. Bought it for $23, or is he selling this?
So I think there should be a make offer button, and then I think right underneath it, it's smaller, but it says see a certain number of listings. You can click that.
Zero listings.
So nobody has it actively listed. You could just search for his card and find the edition you want through the marketplace search bar and make an offer.
And that's on this side here.
No, it's just you can't do it because there's like
there are none of his cards for sale.
You have to look at go to Tyler.
But Barnes, you could make an offer to somebody who's holding his cards. So he has cards in his account, and there may be people who redeem his packs. I can pull it up maybe on my screen.
The homepage
of this armory.
Yeah. Scroll down. Scroll down more. So click that.
Oh wow, only the best. So here's his. So now I found one of his cards. So
let's see. Like number 6 is now he owns number 6.
Do it.
Yeah, but so not all of them have the make offer on it.
Well, because I think they need to be like.
Oh yeah, because you know why? Because they're not for sale because they haven't created an account yet.
Yeah.
ABJ, create your account, list your cards. And Peter, I should have a card available for sale, but maybe not. I think I got to go in there and list it.
Just click C1 listing.
Where does it say? Oh yeah, C1 listing. Yeah, view edition. There we go. Oh yeah, we need to make this we got to make this C1 listing a little bigger. The little tiny that thing. Let's make that a little bit bigger, and then I can change the price on this because I think $183 might be a little steep on that. But yeah, I'll at the end of this or after this is over, I'll list the other two cards, the 3 cards that I have available at a more reasonable price.
Awesome.
But these are 2024 cards, so you only get a 5% bonus for owning 2024. But you also own, one of the
5% every time traded? Or
No,
like
no. So
sold?
5% bonus. You get a 5% bonus.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Is that? I don't know if I forget if we already went over there. What's the royalty for every time it's sent or like transferred, purchase value?
So yeah, 5% goes back to the player every time.
Okay.
And 80% goes to whoever holds it. So when you're selling your own card, you're getting 90% of, or 85% of your, no, sorry, 90%. 90% of the first sale of the cards you own. 5% on anything else that you don't own.
I see. Okay.
How many users are actively playing Fantasy at each event? So we've only done one event, but how many players did play at the first event? And it wasn't free the first time. It was you had to
correct.
buy the packs.
It was only pay to play. I think we had just shy of 200 people playing for something that again was really piloted, didn't market it heavily at all. But yeah, that means they just kind of either fielded a team and put up at least one player. I think it was pretty polarizing. We had people who were very engaged, buying lots of packs, editing their lineups every day, and we had people who were casually putting up one or two players, and I think just went on to enjoy the show itself. Yeah.
Goldman's card's 175K. So when does the fantasy side of things open up for the Tampa event? So when are they going to be? And I think this is also a two-part question. So when does this open up? And then if you can, so otherwise I'll forget to ask you this question, but if you can elaborate on how you set your roster and how often you need to set it, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can, because it's free to play, you can play any player as soon as we announce the fantasy opens. It should be around the first week of March. You'll have a few days ahead of the first game to be able to go in and play around. We'll make another announcement. We'll give everybody, and we'll send an email out to everybody to make sure that that's really clear. So you'll have a minimum, 2-3 days to go play around. We'd love to give everybody a week, just kind of managing the product delivery timelines here. Mm-hmm. And what was the second part of the question?
So when you're playing the fantasy, when you're actually in the game, so it's Thursday night or it's Friday morning, and I've now watched. I've got my 5 guys playing. Is that just for you set your 5 for the whole entire day?
For the day, yeah. So it's open. You're open to edit your team up until just before the first game starts, and then once that first game starts, that lost roster, whatever you have fielded on your team, is locked in for the day. Okay. This avoids any kind of adjusting midway and trying to kind of maybe game a delay of if you're watching it live and there's a delay of when points are recorded online, even if it's like 10 seconds or something, there could be people who are trying to game it. So you lock in for the day, and that way also it's a little more hands off, and you can really focus on the game, and you've got kind of your companion screen on the side there. At the end of the last game of the day, edits open back up. So you can edit and make trades, make adjustments based on who's overperforming, who's underperforming. If a team gets knocked out, you now have a new spot to replace it. So we did see a lot of activity around that, right after games ended till like 7-8 o'clock, sometimes midnight, where people were going on and trading. It was really cool to watch.
Very cool.
And then it locks again just before the morning of the first
Lock
game of the next day. Yep.
Don't forget your rosters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. This is so cool. And no, Nick Johnson, I don't think that there are physical cards on this one.
No, not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Yeah, maybe that'll be that. Archie Barnes. So let's do this. So for the pros that are watching this, let's get with Tom and the NXL, and let's get a link out to the pros again, so that way we can get these guys signed up, because I think that's another one. That's another big one is the education side of things for the consumer, the education side of the things for the pro player, and then that way it just organically will blossom and bloom quite a bit more, because the more pro guys you have, they're like, oh wait, I can make $100 selling a couple of my cards. This is great. I want to put this out there. Hey, check out my cards on MLPB Armory. So it's just going to be all around a bonus for everybody involved to get more people enjoying it and just kind of teaching it. So because I don't know, if I'm a pro player, I can't log in and claim an account just randomly. I have to have that special link that you sent, correct?
Yeah, we sent emails to everybody way back. It was around World Cup. Probably, some probably even went to spam. So we'll get on that again and resend them. And if anybody has any questions, again, if you're able to post my email here, hello@momental.io, happy to answer any questions as well. But we'll get that out to players really soon as well.
Yeah. And then just as a reminder, Joaquin, if you buy a 2025 pack right now, they haven't been assembled, I guess is the best way to say it. They haven't been packed yet because rosters are still changing, and they want to get the most updated roster as they can, as close to the event as possible. So when you buy your 2025 pack, you own it, and you'll get a link to actually open the physical, like not the physical, the virtual pack.
The redeem.
To redeem.
We'll make an announcement around kind of like a redeem day when that feature turns on, and you'll be able to see who you've got. It won't be the final graphic artwork, but you'll see who you've got for Tampa.
Exactly. And then just as a reminder, you'll get like the pretty face in the new jersey after the photos are taken. So we take our portrait photos on the Thursday at the event. So sometime just after that, you'll get the actual photo will be uploaded. You guys are pretty quick.
We're going to be working some late nights to get those media to just crank through. Man. I think there's just shy of 300 players, right? So, yeah.
And no, you do not have to use a VPN. I don't have a VPN.
No.
This is not Pornhub, guys. This is just MLPB Armory.
They might be going off like Kurgo stuff, you know.
Oh, Kurgo, yeah. That's right, because you're gambling. Well, you're not gambling. It's not a gambling site.
Do you have any meme coin suggestions or any financial advice?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I like to say on my site that this is definitely financial advice.
We didn't put the disclaimer in there, yeah. What's the pick of the week? Am I blowing on the Trump coin, or what's happening here?
I thought this was Pick and Span. Is this not Pick and Span?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's our new one.
Once a month.
Yeah, once a month, dude. We're getting that's right. YouTube pays big for financial and investment clicks. That's their highest. That's their highest payout per click CPM.
Every once in a while, I watch this like stock trading. They do like live trading.
Dude, those guys are the large live trading guys.
Yeah,
those guys are loaded.
And they show their positions, everything.
Dude, yeah. Just in case you guys are starting if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and monetizing it, weekly live paintball talk show is somewhere down here. You can't really see where my hand is, but at the top of it, you got I believe gaming and financial investment advice is the very, very top. I think kittens are somewhere here in the middle. I think maybe we'll get a live feed of this cat that's somewhere roaming around our place. Monetize that. Awesome, Eric, dude. This is cool, man. I really appreciate it. I learned something new about it every time I talk to you, and I think that it also just helps the product and paintball get better. You know, we talk about it all the time, and like just different ways to grow paintball. Obviously, paintball is a game in and of itself. Go Sports is great. The NXL provides an avenue to compete at the highest level, and then watch some of the highest end competition. Then we got a really loyal fan base here that sticks with us for pretty much 2 hours every single Tuesday, and then a lot of people who watch it afterwards. But adding new elements and activities and ways to consume paintball media and content is always a win-win. And like you said, it came off just no marketing whatsoever. It was a pay-to-play kind of beta version in World Cup. You had over 200 people playing. I had a lot of people talking about it. I was able to sell a couple cards and make a little bit of loot. And it's just a really cool concept. And it's gamifying something. And everybody, if you don't know already, if you've got a product and you can gamify that, it just makes the whole thing more enjoyable, right? You make everything's more fun. It's like you're more engaged with that product. So this ties all that in, and it incorporates paintball, and it makes everything a little bit more sophisticated. And also on top of that, it helps to legitimize it too, right? When you're presenting paintball to the masses, and you're like, yeah, there's this really cool blockchain enabled fantasy game, and people are like, holy shit, you guys got your shit together. Like, this is pretty cool, Yeah. And so it's a home run. I'm really glad that you brought this to Tom's attention, and that he let you kind of take off with it and create this game plan, really.
Yeah, we're super excited about it, and I really appreciate you guys having me on the show here. Love what you guys do and the content you guys make. It's primo. I think it should be up there with the financial advice stuff. And it's going to be a great season. We're kicking off. Just stay tuned. Follow us on X to get updates for when these kind of redeem days come out, and any updates we've got coming on throughout the year.
Say that again. Where do they follow you?
At Momental. I believe it's @_Momental.
On what? On Twitter?
On X.
On X.
Twitter,
You did say on X.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you
Yeah.
said, and I'm like, what did you just say? But I forget. I always forget that.
Underscore Momental is our account, and that's where we'll be kind of one of the first places to post updates. But we'll do email. We also get content out through the NXL and MLPB Instagram channels as well. We've got a great connection with them. They post and repost stuff that we create as well.
I like that. We're getting people over off of. Let me. I'm finding it. Underscore Momental. Yep, I got it. I'm following you guys. Getting people back onto X, formerly known as Twitter, and to get your news. It's not a bad place to be honest.
Yeah, I need to get in my account. I'm stoked about this. I think it's an awesome idea.
Let's do it.
Back to trading NFTs.
Yeah.
You got him hooked.
We were so back.
I'm back, baby. Let's go, Joey. We got a new buddy.
Nice.
Pick and span. All right. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. We'll kind of keep
guys.
plugging it away, and as soon as all those packs actually go live and you can fill them up, and I'll see you in Tampa, and we'll kind of like do some promotions for it and get people dialed in.
Nice work, man.
Awesome.
Love it.
Thanks so much, guys.
Oh yeah.
Talk later.
Awesome. See ya. All right. Cool, man. That was it's pretty cool. Like once you actually see the back end and how it goes. I was trying to tell as many of the people out there at the event. I'm like, dude, get signed up for this. Like, this is kind of cool. I've sold 3 cards at this weekend. Yeah. You know, and people are so they're buying them. And it again, depending on who you are, some people won't care. Like, Mouse gonna set up an account? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
But maybe you could set it up for him.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, you should put these cards. Listen for like $25. Like, why not?
Well, it's pretty easy now that everything's on trade in US dollars. Or you could use a credit card. Like,
you don't need to do it the
you
way
don't need to
that,
go the whole back end, which is chaotic.
Like when I bought that Shiba Inu coin.
Yeah, or like having a swap and you
send
gotta
the thing over to here, and you got to pay the gas fees, and you got to go back over here, and I'm like, what's going on?
Slippage if it goes out of your price range and it cancels.
Dude, I'm not into that's it. Just doesn't know. I'm putting money on purple. Yeah. So so speaking of financial advice, hope you guys didn't have any money in the tech or nuclear market yesterday, especially in Nvidia. That was that was a bummer of a day.
Marissa's sitting on like a lot of cash in her trading account, like self brokerage, 401k, whatever. And I got her like 2 Nvidia and at like 130, and then I saw it go down to 117. She's like, "Why do I want to?" I'm like, "Buy 15 shares." She's like, "Why do I want to buy it now? It's bloody." I'm like, "This is when you buy. You're lucky you have cash." Yeah. She was up like $60 today. Yes, because it went back.
That's right. That was a move. I bought a bunch of them yesterday also.
Oh, nice.
And loaded up on some more nuclear. I had to, and I bought a bunch of QQQ calls. Rocketed. Didn't make my didn't make myself out of the hole that I was in on Monday, but it was just a nice like. Like I made $150. Like it made me feel really good about myself.
I use that.
Nvidia is up 8% today. That does not erase the 17% that it went down yesterday, unfortunately.
Smooth.
But we're
600 billion.
And it is BS news. I absolutely think that this whole thing from China is complete bullshit.
I use DeepSeek, and it's like the same thing. And actually,
you used it already. You used to use it already. Like you were already on it, or you just
no. I downloaded it to see because I heard a lot of good things about it. And then, like I asked it a question like, ChatGPT knows like me pretty well now after how long I've used it, and it knows like what Tigerware is and everything, like what the website looks like. It can help direct me on things like that. I asked DeepSeek, I was like, "What do you think about Tigerware?" It's like, I don't know, I can't look that up. It's like, okay, well, all right. It didn't seem that different or better to me. Maybe I'm just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
right. But it looks the exact same.
Yeah, I've heard it's about the same thing. It's just from what they say allegedly, which is I think BS. Is that it can do computations cheaper and faster. So if you're using it on more of a corporate level or like a high language learning model level, then it can do all that stuff for cheaper. But I do believe that they were not being truthful with that. I think that's the big factor there. So let's get that. All right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this whole Russian situation. We got about another 15, 20 minutes before we spin the wheel here, and I think that there's a couple of really interesting.
Yeah, Mikey said he's gonna pass.
I'm gonna pass. Oh, you want to come on the show? I'm gonna pass, pimp.
Which is understandable.
It's understandable. Look, this is too funny. All right, so we've already talked about. I like the Russian guys, man. I'm just gonna full disclosure. I appreciate their work ethic. I appreciate what the hoops that they have to go through in order to play paintball. A lot of them, as far as traveling out of Russia. I don't judge them for what actions their country takes. And I do understand, and this is kind of going a little bit on the political side, I do understand why and how other countries or other sports organizations banned Russians and Russian players for competing, and I do see both sides of the story of the how it was fair or unfair. But at the end of the day, Kirill is a good buddy of mine, and I appreciate. I've been competing against those guys for decades at this point. But their work ethic is one thing that creates their success or lends a hand to their success. But on top of that, it is also somewhat of a deterrent. Kyle and I were talking about this as far as like the money that they were offering you, but what they were asking for in return is, you gotta be out in Florida for 6 weeks.
Yes.
Prior to the event, like including the event or prior to the event? So 7 weeks total.
I think prior.
Maybe it's prior or somewhere. Anyway, it's a lot to ask of somebody, especially if you don't live in Florida where they practice. If you live in Florida, like whatever, I'll just be over there. If you have any other obligations, if you have a job, if you have anything, a girlfriend, a cat, if you got a cat, all these things can be deterrents to going over there. Now you get paid on the higher end of the threshold for or payment side of things, as far as being a paid player, and you are a professional player.
Yeah.
You're going out there, you're living in the house, you play 5 days a week, and it's not like a full 8-hour day. You're going in there, you do these drills on one day, these drills the other day, and it's great. And James, no, this is you're right and wrong in this. We want the sport to be recognized and get paid good money, then that's what comes with it to a certain extent. Now, football has training camp. You go out to training camp for what, two weeks or a couple weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go to work on a daily schedule, but you also move to that area. Like if I'm picked up by the Cowboys, then I'm going to move to Dallas and I'm going to get a big ass house in Dallas because I'm getting paid several $100,000 or $100 million a year to be able to afford to do that. But for $80,000 to travel 6 weeks, 30 weeks essentially, because 5 events, you're 30 weeks living in a place for $80,000 to $100,000. It becomes less desirable essentially, and so it's just a big tough ask. So again, if I'm fresh out of jail and I have no other options and I'm single, and yeah, that sounds like a great idea. But if I have a life here in San Diego, even without 3 kids, like if I'm just kind of like living in San Diego, that makes things very difficult. Especially because you have to consider like I'm paying rent as well. Like, so there are expenses that I have. So anyway, there's pros and cons to it. Again, if your dream is to be a professional paintball player and they will pick you up and pay you that type of money. But if you already have, so let's take Mikey, for example, who has a full-time job, and he's like, okay, things seem pretty stacked over here on Impact, and I want to play paintball. Mikey wants to play paintball. Mikey wants to be the guy, and he's earned that title. He's earned the ability to be the guy on the team. And if you pick up 5 new dudes and one of them plays your spot, and they're being paid more than me, I'd be like, well, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play for somebody who wants me on their team.
Yeah.
So, he went over to the Russians, and then kind of reluctantly about the whole deal. And he's like, okay. He gets picked up by the airport, gets to the hotel and goes, and then Mouse quits. And I think this is kind of like a saving grace for Mikey at the same time. Like it just happened to like all the stars lined up, and he's like kind of like looking over the ask, and possibly at that time got a call from Dave, and he goes, hey Dave, hey Mikey, you want to come back? You're going to get paid whatever the Russians are paying you, or probably got or maybe you got a little pay cut or something like that. And then, and he was like, yeah, you know what? Looks around and goes, I don't want to live in this hotel for the next 6 weeks and do this all the time. So he wrote a nice little letter and then snuck out of the hotel, left all the gear that they laid out for him, snuck out, got in an Uber, and pinned it on the
allegedly, but we
allegedly pinned it straight to Sacramento, and then was back on the squad. So I think that Mouse leaving, he should thank Mouse.
Yeah, maybe.
When he sees Mouse, he should be like, "Yo, dude, thank you. Like, you might have saved me." Again, some people are super stoked on that type of offer, and like, this is cool. I wish I could play more paintball.
Yeah.
When Todd opens Giant San Diego up, and once they get that field dialed in, I'm going to be going out to the field more regularly so I can be sharper.
Yeah.
Because it's undeniable. When you see Malloy run from the 50 snake standing up and diving into the other team snake 3 and shoots a guy out of the fucking Dorito corner.
Yeah.
And with one ball as he's going on the ground, like, he does that because he practices that all the time, and he's really damn good at it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great too as you're younger, and you don't have a career.
Yeah, there you go.
A big career or like family that you can't.
Yeah, and they do board you. So yes, so room and board, and I don't know if there's a food stipend or anything like that, but you're not paying for a hotel for 6 weeks. They have a house out there that they rent or own, or I don't know. There's an interesting. Did you listen to the podcast I sent you on the Russian owner?
No, I didn't yet.
Interesting podcast, 3 parts podcast on the Russian owner, which is pretty good. Yeah, let me get a link to this one.
We are going to be at the Combine.
Yes, and we are going to be at the Combine, guys. Did see that a bunch of times.
And I'm just going over to I'm just reading the commentary on the coach's show, so I didn't incorrectly place words. But there was some interesting conversation there and concepts talked about back and forth with the legalities of player moves and stuff.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that as well. So here's a link to the podcast. It's a good listen. It's like 15 minutes long. It's a 3-part podcast. It's not like it's a secret. It's out there. The owner of the Russian Legion sought out this podcast. It's not like someone did like some sort of investigative. They did investigate him to like learn about him, but it wasn't like, oh, we need to out this guy. He was like, hey, I want you guys to hear my story. And so yeah, it's interesting, and you can dive. Look, man, I know a guy up the street, and he was in import export in the 80s in Russia. If you lived through Soviet era Russia, and you came out of the other end wealthy, then you've been through some shit. If you owned a bank, you've seen some things. So anyway, I don't think anybody's innocent or guilty. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about and I met him, and he's great. Like, we used to play paint. He used to compete against us. So I'm not wrong, Jake. I live in Florida. And I meant to watch Ryan Gray's take on everything, but here's the deal. Bottom line is, if Mikey didn't sign anything, or if nobody signs anything, then shut up. You can now judge that person based on their character and their word and take them for that later. But if you don't sign anything and you just say, yeah, I'll play for you guys, sweet, I agree to these terms. Now, there are laws in different states that can possibly hold up to that to a certain extent, but we're playing paintball here, and he didn't want to play for you guys. So you're not going to go, oh, this is so egregious that we are going to make sure that you can't play paintball this year because we're so upset that our system doesn't fit for you. You should be like, dude, thank you. You know what? This wasn't. If you don't want to be here, then thank you for not taking our money and not giving us 100% of what you want. The Russian guys and Ryan Gray should be thanking Mikey and thanking Mouse for leaving. They see it as more of like we got sniped and we got stabbed in the back because this guy agreed for something.
Which Ryan, he does bring that up.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we don't, obviously at the end of the day, you don't really want a player that's
okay,
there.
perfect.
Yeah,
Again,
he does say that. But what I did, part of the argument that I think was like kind of interesting. I don't want to say argument, discussion. Towards Tom was like, can we put, why can't we enforce this if you guys enforce a rule? Like, why can the NXL not be involved with this when you guys enforce a rule about player like rosters being locked at a certain time. And Tom bringing up a lot of good points about that is like, well, you have an agreement like between the player and owner. That is just something that like we have with the player.
Right.
You know, like, and Tom also says like, if we get involved in your guys' contracts that are like, one, we're gonna have to hire a legal person to handle your contracts because you probably didn't write them correctly. So then we have to get involved, and if something happens there, and then we have to get involved because that's what we signed up for, then we could get sued.
Right.
And he made a good point. And something, you know, because we're now with Tyler, we're working with Pate Smith a little bit, and Pate is obviously a lawyer, so he filled me in on this, and I was thinking about this for team owners. Pate and I did, as we're working out the legal side of it, like a letter of, essentially like a letter agreement of intent, and like kind of lists things out, and then both he and I agree on it, which is like a soft contract before. So if it's a really big deal, because what Ryan said is that like when you make the agreement, it's not like the contract can be like made right away. Which like,
well, so there's usually a clause in big deals, big like mergers and acquisitions especially, that if like for us to even begin to work on the deal, we have to agree to a if we part ways, if we don't come into a contract. But there's not enough money, there's not enough like skin in the game here. You know, like what do you like? It's just your investment isn't that big.
Yeah.
Right. So what is someone going to do? Like, let's go down a little bit on the hierarchy. Like, okay, let's say, for instance, PB Fit. Okay, they don't pay their guys, or they don't, like, at least not a whole lot. They don't have a huge budget. The guys all want to be there, but we want to make sure we lock up Chavez. Hey, Chavi, we're gonna pay for your way to play for the year. You won't have to pay for any paintball.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we can offer you. We don't have, but sign this. And he's like, okay, he signs it. And then and like, at the end of the day, like, how much money are you going to put into, if he's like, hey guys, like, I'm going to breach this contract? You know, like, how spiteful are you actually going to be? And what type of legal steps are you going to take if it was just like you're playing for free? Yeah. You know? And so as you grow, as it goes bigger and bigger, like, yeah, there's like in our negotiations, here's the soft offer, and I'm going to pay you $500 million to play for me. Yeah. But we're gonna hash out these deals because you're gonna want to only wear denim on Tuesdays, or like these are these little stupid things, nuances. Yeah. I only want to fly first class, and I want to sit on the right hand side of the window and the left hand side when I'm flying into San Diego. All these little things. Yeah. As we're talking about this, if it falls apart, then someone owes someone money because I just spent $1 million on my legal bills. Yeah. So there are pieces in contract like that are put together in that sense, but there's just not enough money in here. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, oh well, we kind of had this soft deal and we flew Mikey out here. I mean, they could say, hey Mikey, can you pay us $500 for that flight that you took? Yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. But being like, hey Tom, you need to suspend this guy because like he did in a text message say, I'm down, like I'm good for that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
But
like,
Tom brings up a good point though too, is like if they agree to start, enforcing player owner contracts, if say your kid grows up and he's 19 but he agrees to play for 10 years for a team at $10 a year, right? And then that he's like now like, shit, I'm stuck in this contract that's not really reasonable. NXL now has to like be get involved with that, because it's not really rational. But I think that this is a pretty good idea, like the letter of intent, like interim agreement. But it's like, if you don't have your contract ready, well then maybe you can at least do something like this before. So you have something in there, and if the terms aren't, there's all sorts of things. I mean, I think in my college days 2.5 decades ago, my favorite class was actually business law. I liked it too. Remember when I was
great. Yeah, you took the
same
class.
It was a lot of work.
You took a lot of work. Yeah. And you learn a lot of important things, and I'm not a professional at this whatsoever, but did Mikey do those guys dirty? Kinda, yeah. Was he given a shit deal from Impact to begin with and forced his hand to go somewhere else? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mikey, great work this year. You finally earned your spot. We got Mouse, so you're going to be, have fun this year. So, yeah, of course, Mikey's like, well, I need to go somewhere, and I'm going to get paid. These guys are offering a ton of money, and I like paintball. I want to play paintball. This sounds great. And got over there and was like, you know what? It might not really my cup of tea. It's not my thing. I don't really like the guys as much as I thought I would, or whatever it might have been. I don't know. He doesn't want to tell us exactly yet. But we'll try to figure that out. But look, it's his personal opinion, and he didn't sign anything, and the league shouldn't get involved until the league, until a TV deal comes up, and there are dollars spent from the league to give to the teams to spread out to player contracts. If there's $200 million and every pro team gets $10 million to do with what they like, and that's their budget to compete with. And if it all goes into, Ryan's new big house up the hill, or it goes $1 million a player, that it is what it is. And then there is now enough money and enough time and enough skin in the game in order to create player contracts that can be accountable and held with the league. Sure. But again, the league doesn't want to get involved, especially if I personally write the contract. Like Eric Crandall, when we had player contracts back in the day, it was more like a statement of work and what we expect. Hey, we're going to provide all this for us. Yeah. You're going to do this for us in result, and then we're going to give you X, Y, and Z. We expect X, Y, and we expect these things out of you. So we had player contracts, but were they ironclad, locked in by the top attorney wherever? No, they weren't. And so if there's a loophole in it and we're like, hey, Tom, stick up for us. And he's like, well, dude, you guys didn't write the contract, right? And we're like, you don't have our back. And then they don't have this. And next thing you know, it's just it's just too much bullshit. Straight up. Yeah. So if you want a contract with a guy and you're going to do a deal, and this is also another really good, important thing because this can screw a lot of people. But yes, a simple one is a letter of intent or a statement of work, right? If I'm going to if I'm paying somebody to do something, I want in writing what they are going to do for me and what I'm going to give them in return, or vice versa. Handshake deals, unfortunately, don't go very far. Text messages, but there should be something in writing of what I can expect from you and what you can expect from me. And we, I think on Dynasty we'll send out an email to everybody like, hey, look, just so you guys know, we're covering X, Y, and Z. We're going to give you this to play. We want you to be here for 10 weekends of practice, 5 events, and you got to wear sponsored gear at all events. Yeah. Something simple. Just kind of it's important. It is. Because otherwise you're kind of getting stuck. A lot of people are like, do I have to pay for this hotel room? Did you pay for the hotel room? Yeah. What are we getting? It's pretty simple.
Could do it something like how, if you're renting a place, it's like if you decide to break the lease, you can break the lease. So it's, it's going to be 3 times your monthly rent.
Yeah. And that's a good point. A verb. What are some businesses that enforce contracts for their clients? I think there are probably a lot. Ask her. That's the smartest person we know. All right. Yeah. Not the Chinese guy. Yeah. That's the American guy.
They put more money into this one too. I heard so. A couple $100 million.
Yeah. A couple.
What am I asking?
Kyle, what are some businesses that enforce contracts? Kyle yesterday goes, dude. You see NVIDIA lost $600 billion. Can you imagine what would you do if you lost $600 billion? I go, I wouldn't care. You know why? Because if I had $600 billion to lose, I'd probably have a couple more B's in there, and I'd be fine.
Probably 4 times.
Yeah. I'm cool because I still have. If I had some M's, I'm all right. All right. So
you could buy a lot.
Contract with a company that manufactured transmissions. When they found out he was getting them cheaper from another dealer, they sued. There you go. Okay.
Law firms represent clients.
Yep, right.
Arbitration, mediation firms, collection law firms, debt collection agencies, business and commercial contract enforcement, factory companies.
Yeah, company that pays you to go to school for the certs or education needed. That's actually a really good one. Yeah,
credit bureaus, underwriting, risk
Brian
management.
Stewart enforces contracts for business. That's almost. Yep, there you go. Brian Stewart. Yep, there we go.
Brian Stewart's giving me some.
Oral contracts are legal in Missouri. Good luck. It's a he said sold seashells down by the seashore situation right there, James. But I don't know. Again, I'm not.
Tom used a good example of that too. He's like, if I hire somebody to mow my grass for $100, and then he doesn't mow my grass, and then we go to court, and he's like, "What did you pay him?" No. Well, do you mow your grass? No. Like, I forgot how he worded it, but like everything's thrown out, you know.
Yeah. Well, he said he was going to mow it, and I said I was going to pay him. Or did he say I was going to pay him, and then he was going to mow it?
Yeah, and like...
Missouri.
Another, I forgot exactly how Tom worded this, but he's like, if you own a business and you hire someone to work in your office, and then they don't show up to work or they go somewhere else to work, we just own the building and you rent the offices from us. Like, NXL is that the building, and you rent the offices for your business to use the offices, like, which I thought was another good point.
Yeah,
because Ryan Gray was laying it on thick. Tom was able to answer all questions pretty. I didn't even divert. He just, I thought he handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
I forgot what else I was gonna. Oh, Mario had a question up there too. I thought was good. Maybe you could answer a little.
So
bit.
Why do players have to go along with team sponsorships, especially if the sponsorship doesn't pay the players? Well, oftentimes, and Mario, I'll explain it and sponsorships go all different ways, but oftentimes the player is getting free gear, and hopefully that sponsorship is what is providing them an opportunity to play paintball. Now, we've kicked around the idea in the past, like kind of when we're in between sponsorship years, I think maybe like several years back, we're like, what if we allowed every player to go get their own sponsorship deal? But then every player would also be responsible for getting to all the events. And then it's like this big responsibility aspect. So on Dynasty, our sponsors, JT, BFP Gear, and Field One and Pro DNA, they give us a budget and product, and we in turn say we're going to compete in 5 events. There's contracts with all of them as well. We're going to compete in 5 NXL events. We're going to be doing these type of outreach things. We're going to be doing this on social media. We're going to be X, Y, and Z. And so all the players are now given an allotment of jerseys, pants, goggles, paint, guns, all this stuff to represent our sponsors in the team. So players don't have to play for the team. If I don't want to play, if I don't want to wear HK stuff and I'm on Aftermath, then go find another team. And if you can't, then come on back, put these skull goggles on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're usually getting a free gear, especially on the top level. And then on top of that, like, it's the same thing. Like, you look at the Imperial program that they're doing. It's, if you're a D4 player, D5 player, and the package is $500, everybody on the team pays $500. You get head to toe gear, and you get all this. You get like a custom jersey and a custom thing, and you're essentially sponsored because you're paying under what retail value would be, and you're getting the support from that industry sponsor. So generally, when the players have to wear all the gear in order for the team to be sponsored, which in turn gives product, or in the case of Aftermath, they're probably getting a really good deal on paint, and Wayne is at ASG is probably providing free paint and free play to his players, along with jerseys, pants, goggles, guns, and all that stuff to use, and all this.
Maybe socks.
Doubtful.
Yeah, probably.
Sock game needs to get stepped up quite a bit in paintball. I've been on the forefront of this, and I've been trying my best, but
maybe I'll look into some socks.
I'm gonna really, yeah.
But I tried it before, and they're not good socks.
Sometimes it's fashion over function.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't need.
But I tried some. They did not come out good.
Sometimes you need to be uncomfortable to look good. And then when you look good, you play good. It's up here.
Captain's jerseys are a good idea, or you could just get it printed.
Yeah.
If you want.
33 Thread makes socks, huh? I wear Stance socks. I'm not sponsored. That's not a sponsored plug.
Tiger Wear is both, Bobby.
Yeah. Tiger Wear is both.
Fashion and function.
What did Todd say long ago? Looks are half the sport. That's it. Fashion wins firefights. Dude, Marcus, we're putting that on a shirt. Fashion wears fire. Dude, you're getting one of those. Also, ABJ, thank you for reminding me. Yes, we are doing the Summit Awards on Sunday evening after the NXL. So tickets are going to go on sale soon. We're going to have Iconic Awards show, Player of the Year, Icon of the Year, Defensive Player, Offensive Player.
Content Creator?
Content Creator. I didn't see that one in there this time. They couldn't give it to PTG 3 years in a row. You know what? Also, I said would be a great award to do is Impact Award, right? So impact on the community. I was like, dude, you guys should do an Impact on the Community Award because Spicka Span Show just raised like $8,000 for charity. Can we finally get an award? You know what I mean? Like, what do we got to do? How many awesome shows and irrelevant facts do we need to give to, like, you know, put another thing up there, a little trophy up there. All right. Oh, Marcus, your birthday is coming up on the 25th, February 25th. Dude, Marcus, I'm gonna have to hook this kid up, poor guy. Marcus, when's your birthday? MLPB Armory. Nope. Let me get the wheel of names. Best budget podcast, dude. That is built for us. Yeah. Hey, dude, Marcus, my birthday is February 25th. Dude, we got to get you something. We definitely got to get you a prize for that one. Share a birthday? Come on. I'm 82. I'm 82. Play good, get paid good. That's it. Good word of advice. We're gonna put that slogan on. Play good, get paid.
Yeah, and if any team owners are out there worried about, you know, having maybe an issue like this in the future, you can always give Pate Smith a ring.
That's right.
Happy to advise. Get you on a retainer.
What was that other quote? What's that other quote that I really wanted to have out there?
Hostility. Welcome, dude.
Support. Hostility. Great time to join because I was just about to spin the wheel. I'm going to put your name right here next to Smitty and Sam Bennett. And let's go. Let's get this wheel going here. Where's the button? There it is. There it is. All right. So we got the wheel of names ripping right now. I want to thank everybody for the support. Also, thank you for tuning in for the show.
You know, I was thinking too, it's probably a good idea, you know, if you just pop in here randomly. Mm-hmm. But if you're working or whatnot and you can't look at your phone, just to have it on, be in the show, because when people donate memberships,
mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I think you have to be in watching the show to receive it. So.
Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, so maybe just leave it on. If you can't listen to it, or you might just want to leave that thing on because you might pick it up when it's over and you got a membership.
Yeah, Peter, we got a lot of names on here. We've got 280 show supporters. So we want to thank you guys.
It's any one of these days now when somebody gives some memberships, I think you're gonna get.
Dude, we need to get this guy. We need to get him. We need to get a big. Yeah, we need to get you. We need to get ABJ a membership.
Yeah, there's a couple of people probably we could grant.
We just don't have. We can't do that. Someone was also BFP Gear was asking. He's like, hey, is there a way to like gift memberships? Like we give memberships to specific guys and have them do specific things. I was like, no, we just. I don't think so.
Yeah, we can't. We can, but we gotta like. I can do it. I can pay for it.
But I don't think that you can choose who it is. I think it's a randomizer, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I was gonna say.
Oh, I'm getting one.
We probably need to add some more moderators in here.
We do. I've actually been talking about that. We need to get some moderators going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because. I mean, there's not like a lot of.
Mafia. I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen Mafia.
No, he pops.
We need to get Chris. I'm gonna put Chris as a moderator. Is Chris Sawtell in here still? Let's get him. Let's get him on the moderator side. Look at this. Let's get Steve here as moderator. I don't know what you get to do. Managing moderator can manage blocked words and change the chat modes in live. Also has capabilities of standard moderators. Can review, remove chats. Yeah, there we go. Steve Segovia. Welcome to the team.
There you go.
There we go. Chris Sawtelli. Pasta. I'll moderate the snot out of these clowns. There we go. Welcome to the squad. There we go. Look at that. Satelli the pasta. Hey, Money Mike, did you get your prize from last week? I just shipped it out. Maybe I think you're going to get it today or tomorrow. Sorry, benefits of a membership. Great question from a blank name right there. So first off, you support the best damn live paintball show in the universe, first of all. And then second of all, you get the little emojis, you get to comment, you get your names are pinned to the top when you do comment, so we can see your comments a little easier. And then on top of that, we put your name on the wheel of names list. There's also a community section on here that we do post things from time to time, especially as the season begins and there's new drops, Dynasty, HORMESIS, or Tigerware, sometimes a project. If we get drop information, we'll put it in there. Like the raffle stuff, there was a discount on raffle tickets. And guys, if there's things that are in scarcity, we'll throw it up there so a lot of you get first crack at that. Doc should definitely be a moderator. Let's get right. You're absolutely right. How do we do that? Add as moderator. Doc, welcome to the team, even though you were already there. Luckily for us, everybody's pretty cool. No one really needs to be moderated. There was a point in time when there was there was a bot that went in and said some really, really, really distasteful things, and I think that distasteful isn't even the right way to explain.
And we couldn't even van him. He had like some hacks on. Denzel. Welcome.
Oh, Denzel, let's put you on the list here. And then you get cool prizes from our cool sponsors. So we're gonna be sending out a bunch of NECTRs. I'm gonna send out one of the NECTR pillows today, as well. Yeah, Chex, you were here. That was unreal.
I don't remember what he said. Do you remember any of the words that he said?
Not off the top of my head. That's a little foggy. Orlando, yeah, Lando. Also, speaking of Lando, we from Omega, we're gonna redo a little Omega rebuilding.
There's Junior in there.
There's Junior. There he is. BFP Gear. We are paintball.
In what division?
D3, I believe.
Okay.
D3, D4, somewhere in there. We're gonna kind of try to figure it out. We're gonna skip the first event, and then he's based out of SC Village, and I guess the WCPPL fields are like super solid now. There's no waiting.
Yeah. I went to.
You played
2 weekends ago.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Went up to Glenn's Field on Saturday, and I was at ASG on Sunday.
Sick.
Yeah, Ambush was looking nice too, especially with
Any
everything
smoke?
that's going on. No.
Oof.
There was a lot of like wind and debris, but it looks pretty clean out there as they're getting ready for WCPL.
All right.
I might have some guys though. I know you coach a couple teams that are looking for homes, maybe for D3 division.
Okay.
And they would like to play for you too.
Okay.
They said, well,
Sweet.
me or you. Only,
Okay.
really.
Yeah.
And in that D3, D4 area.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Well, I want to get Lando's squad back up. They had a little bit of a commitment issue, which is obviously something that plagues all teams. But Lando does a really good job with that. The Omega squad, super good picks. I mean, perks, which is one is just I'm coaching you guys.
Yeah.
And he's just a super good dude.
Yeah.
Been playing paintball for a long time. Almost got classified amateur B, but luckily dodged that bullet. Almost lost his D3 status to amateur B, but yeah. Anyway.
All right, you gotta subscribe and then join.
What was it?
Art.
Oh, Art.
Hat.
Trying to get on the wheel. So there's a subscribe button down here on the bottom left, and then again, we're giving away prizes every single show. I'm gonna give away a NECTR pillow mega prize, and a couple. Let's go 3 mega prizes here. A little headband. Let's give
Is my name in green?
I don't think so. Oh, Arthur.
Yeah,
also, if you guys are members and you join, especially if you join today, make sure you send your address updated. If you have moved and you have an updated address, send that to us on our Instagram page, and we will make sure to get you your prize if you're not here. Because you do not have to be here to win to claim your prize.
Nick asks, what has been our most significant gift? I'd probably say when we give markers away.
Yeah, when we give, those are more for the raffle side of things.
Yeah.
We've given away goggles, brand new goggles, brand new packs. I think
barrel kits.
Barrel kits, yeah. We gave away a barrel kit.
Jerseys, a lot.
Spicka Span shirts. Fast pass to the doghouse. That's a big one. No, we've given away. I mean, we've given away a lot of HORMESIS headbands, Tigerware headbands. We give away, packs.
Junior asked if you told everyone how good the food was in Mexico.
Yeah, so Junior, yes, I did talk about that a little bit. I'm actually very impressed with Junior's ability to eat spicy food. He is from England, so it seems like, generally his palate isn't as advanced as most people.
Got a lot of tikka masala out there.
They do, but it's really... That's true. They do have a lot of Indian food.
You never guess.
You never guess. And I'm actually very impressed by even Mike Bianca's palate as well. He did the last night. Mike Bianca was we got steaks, and on the side it came with some grilled vegetables, which was like one piece of squash, one little tomato, one other little item, and then a serrano pepper, and then like something else. And I'm looking over at him, and he's just deep throwing that serrano pepper. Just
Casey Anderson, welcome
to the show, Case. He eats this serrano pepper. He's like, this is a hot jalapeno, and I'm looking at it, and all the seeds are just still in there. He ate it pretty much to the stem, and he's like, this is I don't know if that's a jalapeno. I'm like, nah, it's a serrano pepper, bro. I think he'll kick your ass. And he's like, I just ruined my meal. Me, I didn't even get it. I dipped a tip of a chip into a thing of salsa just because I felt so deprived, and I just took it on my tongue, and I was like, this is so nice. But then it hit the roof of my mouth, and I about cried. I was eating. It was basically like wet newspaper.
So what have you been doing here? Like just blending up chicken and lettuce and stuff?
I can kind of eat a little bit of food on my right side. It's getting a little bit better. I can't eat anything on the left side of my mouth. I can barely drink water, but I've smoothies. I can't have any kind of fruit juice whatsoever. I can have bananas and peanut butter. I can have lots of yogurt. I'm good with yogurt. If it's really like some hey, Rob Palomo, let's go.
Gifting him.
Let's
ABJ,
go, Rob.
looks like you missed it again. Sorry,
ABJ, better luck next time. And yes, it was the tequila that made him do it. Yeah. I can't thank Arturo and Chimera Sports and everybody in Guadalajara and Mexico enough for the hospitality. I mean, we had a photographer out there. Arturo opened up some of his Airbnbs for us. He gave us, like, his entire family had to give up all their cars for us, even though we did say we would rent them. And it was just overall, like, a really special, fun, great weekend, bonding weekend. Joe Barrett played awesome. I think he was player of the day the first day. Nice. Kyle Berry played really well. Didn't ask nearly as many questions as I thought he was going to ask. And then Mike Bianca was a hoot, dude. That guy is something else.
Yeah.
He is a 180 from us. He's great, dude. And then Junior is just hilarious, man. Junior, every day he would go to the grocery store, like a little OXXO, and buy like a new bag of Mexican candy, and just like he loves candy. Ants all over our apartment. It was great. Art's in here. All right, you know what? I'm gonna put everybody who just won in here. We're gonna spin the wheel 2 more times. Try to get you guys. Let's get Art and all those guys into the list. So
Art's on the TJ Bastards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Art.
The stats.
Let's go. Let's get him in here. Who else is in there? There he is. What else do we get? Let's get all these guys that just gifted. Let me put everybody in here. Art on the top of the list. Let's get Brendan B in here. Logan Anderson.
I wonder what this. Have you heard any news about what this format they're gonna test out in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I talked to Jason a little bit. They're gonna test out a handful of things. One of them was the 3 5-minute periods that Bart really liked, where you just play, and then as soon as that 5 minutes is over, it's over. You like switch that point's over, so it kind of like
I got you.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's just
that
the same
format
thing.
that we talked about.
We talked about a while ago,
yeah, like 3 quarters kind of.
Yeah, periods. I think quarters fourth by definition.
Yeah, true.
3/4.
True. That's a good point.
That'd be actually a good one. Like you're the 3/4 club, you know. It doesn't really make sense, but someone would have to think about it.
Yeah.
Be like, that doesn't make any sense. How are there only 3/4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to make a 33-cent denomination.
Yeah. It still wouldn't be a quarter.
Well, we could change it. We could change the name. we could get rid of quarters.
Let's just change it. Yeah, I like it.
Get rid of quarters.
We're gonna get rid of the penny. Apparently, it takes 3 cents to build 1 cent penny to create a penny. You know that?
What?
Every penny costs us 3 cents.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder those machines at like the zoo and stuff that you
cost
put in
50 cents. Right.
Diego
Santos.
I think those things cost like $2 now.
I had to buy one.
Diego.
Is that your Diego?
I think so.
Oh yeah, Diego. Thank
There
you.
you go. Bought a jersey from me the other day.
There we go. He's making his soul
Yeah.
hole. He's coming
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just takes time. Time heals. Time heals, guys.
Yeah.
Andrew Schneider. Let's give it one more spin.
Yeah, I feel like dollars are the new pennies. Dollar bills. When you see
You're
'em-
rolling
you see
that
'em in the
deep,
bottom-
huh?
You know,
Yeah.
you just see them in the bottom of your backpack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how mouse feels. I know that.
Uncrinkle it, and then just shove in your wallet. You know, it doesn't feel great.
Brian Castle. All right, guys. Well, this was a fun show.
Yeah, it's good.
Really cool. Check out paintballarmory.com. Again, I think that again gamifying the concept of paintball in the sense of how you watch it and consume it. Really cool. So check out MLPBArmory.com. That link is down below. Also, the link to all of our show supporters and sponsors: BFPgear.com, NECTR, Gen X, Pate Smith Law. I think there's a New Balance link code in there. The store is up and running. Congrats to all the winners of the show. I mean, obviously, all of y'all who are watching this are winners just because you're here with us. But yeah. No, and there is a video. Yeah, there is a video of the Serrano chili. It was after he ate it, and I think it's what's Mike's? It's Z Vlogs, Zen Paintball Vlogs, Z Vlogs, something like that. Anyway, we will be having a practice here in San Diego. Kyle and I are gonna be at the Combine this weekend, so we will have a Combine wrap up next week. Hopefully, we get the overall winner of the Combine to come on the show. Pretty cool to talk about their experience there. Philip Middleton, I will see you there as well. I'm really excited to see how Tyler has evolved as a player, yeah, this is gonna be really cool to.
Did that get released?
We did a little preview of it down in Mexico as well.
Oh, I guess.
There's a new director's cut coming out. But also Team USA implications, big ones. There's like 70 or 80 Team USA hopefuls at the Combine this weekend, and all of them are
70 or 80
players that are all
Eligible?
U19 and U16 eligible. There's like a huge showing for the Team USA. So make sure you guys pay attention to that. Team USA Paintball will be live. And you guys can support that when that happens. And on top of that, they are all not only eligible, but they're all top in the APPA rankings as well. Or sorry, PB League's rankings. So it's not like just some random, 18-year-old kid signed up. It's like guys that are high, like ranked up pretty high. So this is gonna be a really cool Combine. This is gonna be really great. If you guys are down in the Houston area, that's where we're gonna be hosting it at. Wasteland Paintball. So we'll be there on Friday, setting everything up. Saturday, Sunday, back home, and then catch us here on Tuesday next week.
Hey, how many signups are there?
Dude, should we every week do one stock pick and one crypto pick of the week, and then one absolutely not to pick? As I see you, you've got a what is that, deep sea coin, or what are you looking at right now?
I was.
Oh, this is not financial advice. All right, guys.
I've been playing a little. It's like, there's a lot of red, but
there's a lot of red. Plus 31%, dude. If you take plus 31% for the rest of your life, you are a millionaire at some point.
These are highly not advised. I just throw like $15 in each of them, and then that either goes to 1,000 or
I like
goes
that.
to zero.
Or goes to zero.
Yeah,
that's right. That makes sense. Okay. And we'll go ahead and list our cards on MLPB.com or MLPBArmory.com. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, everybody who supports the show. Thanks to our sponsors, PSL, Gen X, Alex FRAIGE, BFP Gear, Tigerware, NECTR, HORMESIS, and you guys.
Yeah, Peter. I'm going to list some of those cards.
I got an email. I know that.
I just met him.
Just met. Great guy. I almost told the joke. You guys almost sat here and heard the joke. But
we'll save it.
Not happening.
Yeah.